Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. This is JT O'Sullivan. Today, Feel Good Friday. Looking at a pretty interesting play here. Kansas City Chiefs, 2 minutes right before the half, 1st and 10, right on there on the Bengals side of the field. They run a really interesting version of what we're going to call four verticals, but the play action of it, the series, the time tempo of it, right here you can see that if they ran up and spiked the ball quickly, they get another free play with the corner out of position. The Bengals actually end up burning a timeout here. But what tempo does, but this is a pretty interesting. I love finding unique ways that teams find ways to run concepts that the quarterbacks are used to seeing. So right here, they're basically running the number 2 from the seam, from the backfield with a little switch action. But the play action of it really creates some distorted looks on the back end. And so we'll talk about some of the great execution, the cool design from the Chiefs, what their innovation that they're doing on the offensive side for sure, but then maybe some gaps, some issues on the defensive side of the ball, and what maybe could have gone wrong if they did it right. So let's dive into it. This will be a good one. All right, so here it is, 2x2 motion, little fly sweep. Then a variation of 4 verticals. So pretty cool way to get to it. So let's see exactly how they get to it one more time. So they're basically just running a corner and then a number 3 across the field. And then that number 2 up the seam is coming from the backfield with a switch release. So I'll draw it up just to make sure we're on the same page scheme-wise and then talk about what the Bengals are doing defensively that really doesn't help their cause, and this is why this is such a great way to attack this type of defense. So the motion's going to come across. He's going to end up being the check down out here on a little swing wide, and then the 4 verticals. 4 verticals is just 4 guys attacking the field in the vertical path. When you're in tight like this, the tight end usually runs a corner route, still called 4 verticals. Then what would normally be the number 3, but he's the number 2 right now, he's going to come up and get across the face to get to that 3rd area of the field, and then the number 2 or the number 3 that turns into the number 2 is running the seam. And that's where the ball ends up going right here. So this is a little play action, turnaround. This is what the offensive scheme looks like. So let's run it back one time just to be able to see it, see exactly what I'm talking about one more time, concept-wise. So the read is just normal 4 verticals. You've got different, depending on the coverage, you're going to have guys got a chance to run one-on-one down the field. Now, obviously, with this type of switch release, we're going to be paying attention to that number 2 run down the field, especially with the play action. But then I'm going to quickly talk a little bit about the defense. So right here, 1st and 10, 2-minute situation. Defensively, they have what I'm going to end up calling a quarters match. So really, these guys are playing quarters these safeties are playing quarters. But these guys underneath are playing a variation of man coverage or match, and we'll be able to see it. So right here, when he comes across in motion, and you get this little fake action, it very well could be a sweep that way. It really distorts these guys. Back here, he should have, theoretically, this number 3 right here. But because of this fly sweep motion, he's coming across, around the back. The corner's coming across. The linebacker ends up getting confused. He is then late on the switch up the seam. But then the thing I thought that was really interesting about this play is these safeties get distorted too. So pay attention to the safeties here. I'll run it back. We can pay attention to the underneath first, but then I want us to pay attention to the safeties. So right here, he's running that across. Got the corner coming out here, so safety's going to be here. And then this safety is the guy you want to pay attention to. He ends up getting distorted with this across the field, and that's what creates this seam. But theoretically, if you're playing safety in this situation, 1st and 10, you want to have an idea of what's going on with not only the routes, but the ball. And so they're faking this sweep. Theoretically, you would think, geez, if I'm watching the ball at all, I'm going to be coming down a little bit and then kind of panic into this, oh, it's play action. When you're in a pedal, you're being able to see all this. You know someone's leaving you to go to your buddy on the other side. Someone's coming to replace it right there. So there's an opportunity, in my opinion, for this to be a really tough shot for this running back down the field to make this play. But the safety's just so distorted and out of position, he's got no chance. Let's pay attention to the underneath coverage first. We see him run across. See that linebacker run out for the sweep. He's then supposed to be matched up. You see everybody else is matched up underneath. But you watch that middle linebacker. He's thinking sweep, sweep, sweep. Distorted, too late, guy running free. But then on the back end, you see those 2 safeties in the middle of the field. The guy to the boundary or to the bottom of the screen, he plays it perfectly. He sees exactly what's coming to him. Now, he probably could get that corner thrown on him if they really wanted to, and they come back and hit a corner earlier in the game on a similar look. But there's winners running that corner and then up the seam. Both these safeties are just in no man's land. You see that safety come across with the number 2 on the post. And then that creates that void. And then Patrick Mahomes just doing a nice job being able to rip it. See exactly when he lets that thing go. I mean, it looks, you can see the space coming open right there. Really nice job. Really cool design, but really just poor execution on the back end. And really what happens in these 2-minute situations is they have to stay vanilla. And these guys start getting tired, start losing their pedal, losing their eyes, discipline, losing all their alignment discipline. And so this is the type of stuff you get guys running through the seam wide open. Really great design, great execution, cool execution. You don't see every team do this type of stuff. So love the idea. You see the back in the backfield. You see the 55, the linebacker. He's going with that sweep. He thinks he's going to make a tackle. No, too late. Patrick Mahomes, nice little bounce around rip shot right down the seam. Plus, I mean, that running back going down the seam, pretty rare. So really cool design, really great execution. Fun video to break down, fun concept to see, but there's opportunities for the defense in there to make some plays too. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please give the channel a subscription if you haven't already. Have a good weekend. Thanks so much for watching.